Hello, name is Tim Manzke, and I'm going to go through a math problem where we're going to find the equation of a line that passes through the point a comma 10 that is perpendicular to the equation 4x plus 6y equals 3. And we're going to write this answer in slope-intercept form. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is look for the keyword here. Keyword is perpendicular. In order to find the equation of a line, in this case, we have a point, but I need to find the perpendicular slope. So I have to work with the equation that's given to us, 4x plus 6y equals 3. I want to solve for y. And by solving for y, this will tell us what the slope will be of the equation, which will help us find the perpendicular slope. Alright, so let's take the equation and let's solve for y. First thing we need to do is we need to move the 4x over to the right hand side of the equation. We're going to do this by adding a negative 4x to both sides. This will help us isolate 6y. So what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. And what's going to happen on the left hand side, these 4x's are going to cancel out. And on the right hand side, we'll have just the negative 4x plus 3. The next step we need to do is divide both sides by 6. Okay, I need to get y by itself in order to write it in slope-intercept form. Now, in my next step, what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by 6. And what's happening here is I'm going to divide both sides by 6 here. And what will happen next is on the left-hand side, the 6's are going to cancel out. So these will cancel, and then we have y by itself. On the right-hand side, what we can use is a distributive property. We can divide each of these terms by 6. Now the coefficients, negative 4 and then the 3, what will end up happening is we'll have, in distributing the 6, is you're going to have 4 over 6 and then 3 over 6. Okay, so in essence what you'll have are two fractions here. You have 4 over 6 and then you have 3 over 6. Next we need to do is you can take both these fractions and you can simplify them. The fraction 4 over 6, we can reduce this fraction to 2/3. And this fraction here we can reduce to 1/2. The first fraction, 4 over 6, has a common factor of 2. If we wanted to explore this further, you could take 2 times 2, which is 4. 3 times 2 is 6, and then so the factors of 2 will cancel out. Here you have 3 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. A factor of 6, a factor of 3 would cancel out. Okay, we have taken the equation and we have solved for y. So we can say that the slope is going to be negative 2/3. The slope is the number in front of the x. Next, what we need to do is need to find the perpendicular slope. The perpendicular slope in this particular example is going to be the negative reciprocal of negative 2/3. So what you would do is you would take the reciprocal of 2/3, which is 3/2, and of course we're going to take the opposite of a negative, which would be positive in this case. So I have my slope that I need to find the equation of a line that passes through the point a comma 10. So now we want to find the equation of the line. that's going to pass through 8, 10, but also using the slope with the slope uh, 3/2. Next, what we need to do is we can approach this a variety of different ways. We can use the equation y minus y1. I don't know why it's doing that. y1, y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. The point 8, 10 is where we're going to insert in the values for x and y. So what I could do here is we could say, okay, we can say instead of having y minus y1, we would replace the y with a 10. The slope we're going to put 3/2. And then the x1 value we're just going to put an 8. Next thing we need to do, again, our goal is to solve for y, because we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form. On the right-hand side, we can use the distributive property. And when we do that, we are going to get 3/2 multiplied times the x. What I like to do is just emphasize that you are taking 3/2 times the negative 8. And when you do that, as a result, you're going to get 3/2 times 8, which should come out to 24 over 2, or come up with a value of negative 12. Because 3 times 8 is 24. 24 divided by 2 would give you 12. The next step we need to do to solve for y is add 10 to both sides. So I add 10 to the left side, and add 10 to the right side. And when I do that, the 10s will cancel out. And here I'm going to take the negative 12 and the positive 10, which would give me a negative 2 as the end result. So my final answer would be y equals 3/2 times x plus negative 2, excuse me. So that will achieve our goal. So as you can see, there are several steps involved in this process, but that's the pathway you can take to find the solution. So, all right, that will conclude this problem. Thank you very much for watching, and please look forward to other videos in the future in solving math problems. Have a good night.